Hey everyone, this is me Rachit, and today we will be talking about 7 websites every software developer should use for productivity in 2020. Alright, so first of all, why this video? I think because you will use them, and trust me on this, the websites that I will be sharing with you, these are some things which I have been using for as long as 3 years. And in the course of programming, I have been into this area for around 7 years now. And trust me that these websites are something, if not all, a few of them are some things which you will definitely use. Again, they will help you learn faster. As you will see, in some websites would really help you learn faster, and they will also save your time. And of course, who doesn't like to be organized? So to begin with, the first website that I have in my mind is everytimezone.com, and it solves the problem of every time zone ever. Trust me guys, sooner or later every software developer has to deal with time zones. I mean, if you talk about me, I have to schedule a lot of meetings with people in different time zones. The purpose of the meeting can be different. Maybe they are my team developers in US office which I have to collaborate with, or maybe they are my clients and I have to schedule meetings with them to understand what they want and how we are doing so far. Luckily, I never have to do the time zone mathematics again, and that's where everytimezone.com comes into picture. This website is having a really cool UI. On the left side, you can see a lot of different time zones, and right now it's also showing that your current time zone, I mean your local time. I am in India right now, and it's saying that it's 10 p.m. Um, what I want to stress over here is that if you talk about London time, it might be 5.5 or 4.5 hours before Indian Standard Time, depending on the daylight saving time. Again, if you talk about New York, they also have different DST adjustments for summers and autumns. And DST adjustments are something wherein people turn their clocks or they advance their clocks during summer months so that the darkness falls later each day according to the clock. So to give you a quick demo, you can see the current time 10 p.m. and Mumbai, India is my location. UTC plus 5:30 is the time zone. So it's 13th of Feb and I can slide this slider on the left or right, but as I slide it on the left, if I talk about 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time, it becomes 12th of February and 6:30 p.m. for Pacific Time. So it does not just solve the problem of time zone for my current location, it shows me the time zone for all the different time zones that exist. And again, you can customize this. If this is too much of information and you're not interested in all of them, you can simply remove and use the ones which you need. Talking about REGEXR, it's a great website, I would say, and you can thank me later for this because this is one of the super cool tips that I'm giving you today for productivity. I have used this extensively, and believe me, this is something which I believed that it really made me a 10x developer. I have used this extensively to do a lot of research very quickly and to extract data really quickly from garbage. And if you're a developer who writes a lot of scripts to solve problems, this would be real gold for you. So to give you a quick demo, let's say you paste in a random text, and over here you are interested in selecting all the, let's say, first letter is capital and all the words for that, and you want to basically create an array out of it. So I can say $1 because I have captured that, and I can put that in quotes followed by a comma, and now I can create an array just like that. So this is super cool, and right now I am not explaining how this works, but you can see in the explain tab of REGEXR, which also shows you how this is working internally, why this A to Z in brackets then slash W plus is working this way. So this is a great website to also learn regex, by the way, because you can play around data and see how certain regex expressions they match to different strings. So you can see that real time, and it's a good way to learn as well. But again, this is something when you have data and you have to do manipulations and extract some data out of it, I think it's very quick and really useful. Alright guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification icon. The third one I have in mind is slack.com, and the best thing that I love about Slack is that it is very easy to use Slack on my mobile, and it also has a web interface. It also have desktop applications, but I use Slack to do a lot of random stuff, and one of them is remind me to do XYZ thing at ABC time. For example, I can say Slack that /remind, which is the keyword to do this, and then you can say remind me to drink water at 12 p.m. every weekday, and it should understand that. So it really happens a lot with me that I am working on something and suddenly something pops in my mind. So I use this feature a lot just to delegate that and remember that I have to do certain things. In this case, of course, you can have reminders for standing up and take a walk for 10 minutes every 1 hour or something like that. But the good thing is that when I'm traveling or I do not have access to a laptop, I can still use the Slack mobile application. So it's very accessible for me and use this feature to remind me of certain things. And when I do that, of course it should understand me, and Slack replies back with saying that okay, I will remind you to drink water at noon every weekday Indian Standard Time. So it's a good way to understand that, yeah, it's understanding what you are saying, and to confirm that. Again, you can delete that if it's wrong, and you can also list all of the reminders that you have. And the next thing is, of course, when it is 12 p.m., it should remind you, and it does that. The Slack bot sends you a notification on your website. I mean, when you are using a laptop, on their website, of course, and also they also send a notification on your mobile phone. So again, it's very reliable, and this is something which I really love about Slack. Talking about crons, come on, crons are everywhere, and that's where cronguru.com comes into picture. And if you are on your production box in your organization, just hit cron tab -L, and probably you can see a lot of commands like this which have a pattern, some numbers and stars, and then followed by some commands. What essentially crons allow you to do is run some command at every some time, and basically they allow you to run some commands periodically. But what does this 3 stars and then 5 and 4 means? So for beginners especially, I would say that just go to this website and just paste that pattern, and it will make you understand what it means. So as you can see, the minute is 5, the hour is 4, and any day, any month, and any day of week. And that's why it will it will run the process at 4 or 5 every day, every week. Okay, and it also basically shows you the next schedule of this cron entry. So it's really good way to understand crons rather than doing the math yourself and understanding what they mean. All right. If you're a backend developer, so I'm sure that you really struggle a lot with front end. You probably might hate it, but more than that, it's very difficult for backend developers to do the setup, have some editor like VS Code, also have live server enabled on that so that your real-time changes get reflected on a web screen. Um, so probably what I'm trying to say is that CodePen.io is a very quick playground area for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's also a good way for you to share your skills with the community, as we will see. And again, it solves this problem of for us, because it's a very good and easy way to learn as well, and as well as experiment things really quickly without having to set any editor or live server kind of thing. Also, they have really good set of auto completion features, which you can see in this demo. So if I press not and tab, it should generate an HTML basically template, wherein in the body I can say something like h2 and then garbage lorem spam. Again, you can see I'm not typing, I'm just hitting tab, and it's understanding all that. Again, now let's add some CSS, probably make this of red color. Oops, I need to type correctly. So if I type color red, it should reflect automatically. As you can see, I've typed color red, it's working. So again, this is a great website to do all these things, experimentation, and you can also share because each workspace is having, or each collection is having a unique URL, and you can have all your profiles, portfolio, everything on CodePen.io. All right. I know that I had mentioned REGEXR, but if you're not a Regex Pro, you can still do a lot of awesome things using nimbletext.com. So they have a desktop application, as well as you can try this on their website. Just add a /live to the URL. And how this works is that you paste in certain text on which you want to extract some data out. In this case, I have some names and their companies. And what it says is that for each row in this list, do something. What? That's in the next section. It asks you to tell the pattern, like how to do the substitution using which pattern. In this case, we want that
there should be something like 2, and then $1 means the second column because we are using zero based indexing. $0 means the first column, and $2 means the third column. So in this case, it's going to apply this pattern on each row, and if you will see the output, you can see something like this, which is really cool. You had a bunch of a CSV file kind of thing, but you are really able to generate repetitive text. And I'm sure that when you are junior developers or something, and even when you are writing scripts or um, basically this is something which I have used a lot. And when I was not a Regex Pro, I used to use this a lot. But once you are really good with Regex, you really need not do all these kind of things. But again, nimble text also has its own use cases. Um, some things cannot be fulfilled by regex, which can be done by nimble text. So one more thing is that why it's user friendly is because you can easily select the column separator and row separator and do a bunch of things. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I do have one last website, which is not, I would say, a utility app, but if you are a software developer, of course, you do hear music while you are working. In my case, I have found a really cool website that I totally love. I don't like a lot of music while coding, but I do like the nature of sound sometimes, and that's where a soft murmur comes into picture. You can fine tune the various parameters. It has different kind of things, and if you'll go to the website, it's really great UI, and you have waves, you have wind, fire, coffee shop, thunder. You can select the proportion in the music that you are hearing on this website. You can adjust the various background noises and have that perfect nature sound that you want and that you enjoy. So that's all I had for this video, guys. I really hope that this was super fun, and I had a ton of other websites which I could not list, but I hope that this collection of mine, I think that you like this complete package, and let me know in comments if you have any alternatives or any more ideas, and probably we can also have another video on the same. Of course, you can have more videos talking about my VS Code setup or the VS Code plugins that I use, or probably the Google Chrome extensions that I use. I really care a lot about productivity, and let me know in comments what you think about this and what you want me to make my next video on. And at the end, I just have one message. If you are preparing for coding interviews, make sure to check out algoexpert.io/Rachit, because it's a great website to prepare for coding interviews. It has 15,000 plus developers who have used this product. You can read the reviews online. They have really happy customers, and all the topics are covered by just 85 problems, and you can write code your solution on their portal. They have test cases which will let you know if your solution is right or wrong, and they again have very great video explanations. So go to algoexpert.io/Rachit to know more, and use the coupon Rachit to get 15% off. Alright guys, that's all we had for this video. I hope this was fun. Let me know in comments, and before you start watching a lot of my other videos, enjoy this music, and I'll see you in the next one.